is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Wes Anderson film, Isle of Dogs. Isle of Dogs is directed by Wes Anderson, stars Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Bill Murray, and Jeff Goldblum. It tells the story of a dystopian Japan where a dog flu has broken out in the city, and due to decree, all dogs have been moved onto a trash island that is now the Isle of Dogs. And this young boy decides that he wants to go save his dog Spots, so he flies a little plane over there and lands, and when he gets there, this group of dogs that are all voiced by famous people help him to try and find his dog Spots. Now, this is a stop-motion animated film, and I have to say this is maybe the most beautiful animated movie I've ever seen. Literally every little detail and every little thing that they include in the scenes is so wonderfully done and is there enough that you can notice it, but if you're not paying attention you could miss it, which gives it a lot of rewatchability because there's little jokes and there's small things in the background that are just in every single scene. The story is so much fun and has a lot of comedy and heartwarming stuff thrown throughout it, because in reality, when you break the story down of this film, it's literally just a boy looking for his dog, and you really can't get something more heartwarming or more loving than that in a story. And then, as with most Wes Anderson films, I feel like honestly he's been on a roll since making Moonrise Kingdom. This movie is hilarious. I don't think it's as funny as The Grand Budapest Hotel, but it is still so funny, and with the plot, everything works so well. There are a lot of really clever jokes, there's ones that very much come out of nowhere. A lot of the dogs just sneeze consistently throughout the film, and I know that that sounds very random, but there is a plot point as to why it happens, but those sneezes are so funny, because sometimes they just randomly happen, and it makes for just like this tiny little thing in this very serious scene, but it makes it really funny. And one of the great things about this movie is in the beginning it says that all people in the film will be speaking in their native languages, and then underneath it says, conveniently though, all barks have been translated to English, which I really love because they hired actual Japanese actors to play all of the Japanese characters in the film, and specifically Koyu Rankin, who plays the lead character of Atari, does such a good job. I don't speak a word of Japanese, but his performance came through that language barrier, and I was able to understand what he was doing in these sequences and enjoy his performance and recognize how good of a voice performance he gave without even understanding any of the words he was saying. And then all of the other voice performances that are in English are great. Specifically, the ones that I want to point out are Bryan Cranston, Jeff Goldblum, Frances McDormand, and Scarlett Johansson. Bryan Cranston has the most to do in the film. He is sort of the lead dog in the film. He's an extremely heartwarming character that has a lot of different scenes that he actually gets to show a lot of range in his voice performance, and I think that it's one of the best voice performances that I've ever heard in a film. He does such a phenomenal job with it. Jeff Goldblum is so funny in every single sequence that he is in. Jeff Goldblum's cadence of speaking makes it so you could give him almost any sentence, and he can make it come out like it's supposed to be comedic, and I loved that, and I thought that he was perfect for this. Frances McDormand just won Best Actress, and then played the translator in this film for all of the scenes that take place on the Japanese mainland during sort of the person who made the decision to send the dogs over. She's the one who handles translating his speeches and things, and she's very funny because she adds in her own little things in between, and I very much enjoyed her performance. And then as small of her role as it is, I really enjoyed Scarlett Johansson. I don't know what it is, but I feel like Scarlett Johansson has such a perfect voice for voiceover performances, even though she's done so few in her career. I feel like her voice is very soft and subtle, but it's so fitting, especially with the character that they put her with in the film. And then, as always, with the fact that the animation is beautiful, I have to give so much credit to Wes Anderson and his wonderful direction in this movie, because he has shown time and time again that he is by far one of the most talented directors that is alive nowadays, and I think that this movie just continues to showcase that. He's already made one stop-motion film, that being Fantastic Mr. Fox, which did get a lot of critical acclaim. I feel like this one may get even more critical acclaim than Fantastic Mr. Fox. I like this more than that one, but I think he will just go down in history as one of the most aesthetically pleasing and best directors that's ever lived. There isn't really much wrong with this movie, if anything at all. If I'm gonna be very nitpicky, I could say that a little bit after the halfway point in the film, there's a little bit of a lull. It slows down a little bit, where up until that point the pace was very quick and we were constantly moving forward. There's a little bit of a slow point, but it's not much of one. I'm gonna give Isle of Dogs an A. This is one of Wes Anderson's best. Even after only seeing it once, I think I could safely say this is in my top 3 favorite Wes Anderson movies. It might even be number 2. I think this movie's phenomenal. If you love dogs, go see this movie because it's a very heartwarming, loving story just about man's best friend. And I will not be surprised at all if this film gets nominated to be the 4th animated film of all time to get nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars next year. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this review, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Isle of Dogs, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and hope to see you guys later.